Monster Hunter. It's a 21-year-old franchise spanning over 20 games, a series with a legendary reputation and a storied history. But for me, and countless others, this journey started 7 short years ago with the release of Capcom's highest-selling game of all time, Monster Hunter World. Before that, I'd never even heard of Monster Hunter, and if you're looking for a deep dive into the franchise's history, this video is not for you. There are plenty of great videos that go into all the deep lore made by people way more knowledgeable than me. Trust me, I've watched and I've loved a ton of them. But at the end of the day, I and millions of others aren't here to look back. We're looking forward, peering through our world-tinted glasses, waiting to see what Capcom does next. The overwhelming success of World and the expectations that come with it have changed Monster Hunter permanently. For better or for worse, it's not for me to decide. What I am saying is that longtime fans shouldn't be pushed to the side in favor of what made World a financial juggernaut. This series has lasted this long because of the loyalty and love that the people who discovered it long before I did have shown. But there's also a reason World became what it did. So I want to explain why World was so special to me and made me fall in love with Monster Hunter. How Rise proved that that love wasn't just a fleeting crush, and what I hope to love about Wilds. Monster Hunter. What's that? That's a question I asked myself when Monster Hunter World started picking up marketing steam. And the answer seemed pretty simple. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this joke a million fucking times at this point. It's a game where you hunt monsters. No shit, right? You know, the marketing seemed simple to me. We got dragons. We got swords bigger than you. Now get your ass in here and turn the king of this prehistoric jungle into a goddamn hat. And holy shit, I was hooked. I needed to pre-order this game like I needed air to breathe. And goddamn did they deliver. I sank hours and hours into World. And when I wasn't playing the game, I was watching YouTube video after YouTube video, learning as much of it as I can. Eventually, after the release of Fatalis, I put the game down. I'd hunted to my heart's content, and I had about 1 trillion games in my Steam library I had to get to. So I figured it was time to move on. And then Rise came out, I played through that one too, we'll get there. So like a lot of you, I know, I've been revisiting World with Wilds looming over the horizon. And so I started a new character. Picked up the best goddamn weapon in the game, the Lance, and got to hunting. Thanks to the Guardian armor set, the early game's been a breeze. Everything's been so effortless, and it got me thinking, you know, what's the point of Monster Hunter if the monsters aren't a threat? And the answer's quite simple. I mean, it's the world itself. And I know. We've all heard it before. I'm not the first person to talk about how immersive World is. But it's never been more clear to me than when I had nothing else to do but explore it. Without the fear of carding or running out of time, I actually took in my surroundings. Just watching small creatures go about their daily routines, stopping and smelling the flower ferns, fishing, doing all of it. And could I have done this the first time I played? Sure. But back then, you know, I had hats to make, weapons to upgrade. The only time I went on expeditions was to gather resources to make the grind easier. And that's when it clicked. You know, Monster Hunter isn't just about the intense combat, weapon mastery, or the grind for the most optimized gear, although that is, you know, a massive part of it. It's about existing in a world that feels alive, you know, feels like you're a real part of it. You're a creature just as much as the animals you're hunting, not just a game you're blindly fighting through. And that's why Monster Hunter works for me. Moving on to Monster Hunter Rise, a game that I'd call an awkward step forward. At least from the perspective of someone whose only other experience with Monster Hunter was World. I didn't play it at launch. In fact, I didn't even know about it until 2 years later. I mean, I was busy. Rise didn't have the same marketing push behind it. I don't have a Switch. I didn't plan on getting one. But eventually it did make its way to my computer. And I'll admit, I mean, it was a hard sell. You know, wire bugs, palamutes, these stupid fucking defense quests that I still hate. It all felt off. Not bad, just different. And that's because I was trying to play it like the only other Monster Hunter game I knew. And that wasn't working. Gone were the 45-minute quests where you spent half the time picking flowers and sniffing animal shit. Rise wasn't World. It was fast. You were there to jump in, kill a monster, get out. Now don't get me wrong. I mean, Rise's locales are gorgeous. And there's still plenty of incentive to explore them. Like those goddamn spirit birds, God. But the focus, it was short and sweet, and I mean sweet hunts. But a big reason for the shift was Rise's design. I mean, first and foremost, it was made for mobile consoles. There are a lot of limitations there, but it works. It works well on PC. And I don't think it's hampered at all by the lowered visuals. I mean, booting up World felt like you're settling under a blanket on a rainy day, whipping a book out and thinking, man, I'm sitting in the spot for hours. But, Rise was perfect. You had 10 minutes to burn, and you had that hunting itch. You know the one I'm talking about, and you just had to scratch it. I mean, everything was faster. The traversal, gathering, the hunts themselves. And once I stopped trying to play it like it was World, I could not put this game down. So if you were like me and you tried Rise, felt like, I don't know, it's a little too different, and decided to put it down, I am begging you, please, give it another shot. Because Rise is the game that proved to me that my love for Monster Hunter didn't just begin and end with a single game. And now, that love has me so excited to see what Wilds brings to the table. Now, I know this video is cutting it damn close to Wilds release, but I just had to get my thoughts out in time. And for the record, I haven't played any of the betas. I haven't touched early access. I've only watched the major trailers and, the ones for the best weapons in the game, the lance and the hunting horn. But, I want to save as much content as I can for when I boot it up for the first time. But for what I've seen so far, Wilds is shaping up to be something special. The locales, the monsters, everything. It looks stunning. Even from the few trailers, the world feels so alive, and it looks like Capcom's doubling down on what made World's ecosystem so immersive. But this isn't just World 2. There are real changes here. New weapon abilities, dynamic environments. It looks like a more meaningful impact on the world itself. I just cannot wait to get my hands on it. Now, I know I came late to the series. I don't have the same history with it as veterans do. I don't know every inside joke or every little deep bit of Monster Hunter lore there is. But I could tell you one thing for sure. Monster Hunter, I'm here to stay. I just wanted to try something a little different with this video. Kind of dip my toes into the whole, kind of video essay / just get my thoughts out about a game I really like, game series. I spent a lot of time writing a script for this one and recording it. I didn't really like how unnatural it felt, so I think in the future I'm just going to stick to more bullet points than like a full script. But yeah, no, it was a really fun learning experience. I really liked the process of it all. Might try to do more stuff like it in the future. We'll see. But yeah. Thank you. See you around.